how do you deal with trolls in estate agency social media? Today, I'm joined by Elle Wood, who is a social media supremo in the estate agency game. Thanks for joining me today, Elle.
Thanks for having me.
Trolls in estate agency, are they quite prevalent?
Yes, I think they can be. Yeah, absolutely. It will depend on what sort of content you're putting out, but it is something that a lot of people fear about social media, and a big reason that I hear as an obstacle as to why lots of people in a estate agency refuse to use it, because of their fear of receiving the negative feedback on, and like not being able to control those comments and things like that.
What sort of comments do you get to hear?
Well, where I've been working most recently, we regularly got called Nazis, which was obscure, and accused of gentrifying the area and pushing house prices up. I've also seen lots of people get slandered for, the self-employed model where you've got a photograph on your board.
Yep.
I've seen lots of people be criticised in one way, shape or form, and it gets very personal. And just general nastiness about how estate agents are not good people or not good at their jobs.
What's your advice for when we do get a troll? Because most is just hit the word delete, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. So there's a variety of ways of dealing with it. For example, I know one of your opinions is to
Let's not
engage.
talk about my opinions yet. Let's do your opinions first.
My opinion, for me personally, is to delete and block, because I personally can't deal with it.
Right.
For me personally.
But that's you personally.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So my advice
But this is for estate agents.
and my advice is, for an estate agent, if you personally can't deal with it, don't. You can curate your entire digital world. You don't have to deal with these people, because they're never going to be your ideal client. Then you're never going to convince them, persuade them, educate them, because they've already decided they don't like you. So don't waste your energy. We've only got so many spoons available in the cutlery drawer. So don't spend them on people that actually, are you ever going to enjoy working with them, or vice versa? Probably not. Now, other people are really, really good at being able to engage them and not take it personally and not get riled up in the comments. And that can be really positive, because the algorithm sees that there is a conversation going on and it can boost the post to more people. So if you are able to, then that is definitely a great way of using organic social media, and for a way of playing with the trolls, but only if you've got the capability within yourself to find that playfulness and not get upset or feel hurt by it. Chris, you like to engage, so what's your recommendation? How would you deal with trolls?
Okay, so I use the Watkin 1, 2, 3 method. I do like, and anything I like to do also has three stages in it. Although sometimes there's always a half in there as well. The first one is to, this is going to blow your brain. Are you ready? Like and partially agree.
Outrageous.
I know. That really does throw people. That you, so thank you very much for your comment. And yes, I have put a few pounds on recently. Okay. Section 2 is blow the fuckers out the water with science and really go to town with it. And if you're not sure how to do, I'm going to give you a massive tip at the end. And I've only just started doing this. I've been using this manually, doing it out my head, but I'm going to come up with a solution for you in a second. And then the third one is to ask a question back. That's where the magic happens, because you're putting the bomb back in their court, and you can carry on forever. If they come back, thank and partially agree, blow them out the water with facts and figures, ask a question back. And you actually, I help my clients out with trolls, because I create content for estate agents. And some of it is, the titles are not clickbaity, but attention grabbing and eye catching. Okay. And some of them, especially when we're talking about older generation versus younger generation, that can create some issues. So I always say to people, just send them to me. But so I'm used to doing that. I'm also used to dealing with trolls, because I run some social media groups for the Freemasons. Everyone knows I'm a Freemason. It's just a boys' club. We wear binnies and shit like that. It's good stuff. But I deal with a lot of trolls on that. And the first one is not to take it personally. Now, one thing I have learned is that I don't tell my wife about any of these, because she would actually be jumping in the car and going to beat them up and stab them through the heart.
Lovely.
I don't take it personally. I pity them. Now, there is a huge difference between someone disagreeing with you and a troll, and I think that's very important. And you have to distinguish between a troll and someone disagreeing with you. Okay? If you're putting your head above the parapet, you have to take on someone who doesn't disagree with you. But if it's an out-and-out troll, then you engage. In my humble opinion, if you can, by doing that, using the 1, 2, 3 method. But here's a tip for you: use ChatGPT.
Of course.
Okay, so you would type in something like this: I've had this troll comment. I would like you to thank and partially agree in the first sentence. I would then like you to give you 2 or 3 sentences which refute the accusation with facts and figures. And finally, I'd like to ask a question back. I'd like you to do it in a slightly humorous way. And you'll be amazed what it comes up with. So the top tip there for you.
But on my video that I did with you years ago, how to be the #1 estate agent or something like that, someone has written a comment on that, which I've obviously said bestest at some point in the video, and someone said bestest, this just evidences that you don't have to have an education to be an estate agent. Well, I couldn't be more offended by that, because I've got a first-class honours degree and I've got into 2 of the best medical graduate courses to become a doctor that there are in the country. When I've said bestest, it's simply an affectation because I'm being silly. And so I've never been able to reply to that YouTube comment, because even after 5 years, I'm still fuming about that. So I just have to ignore it.
But surely by lancing the boil,
I can't do it, because I wouldn't do it in such a way that was, like you've described, calm and humorous and all of that.
So,
I would be I'm so offended by it.
But still, after 5 years. Now,
Yeah.
one thing I would recommend is that people do get that, then just walk away for a few hours.
Exactly, which is why I'm still aware it exists. It's on your YouTube channel, so I can't delete the comment. And you've done what you do, which is thank them and given some advice back. And then he has replied with a big tirade about how actually he's had a really bad experience with an estate agent. And that's where all of that's coming from. So it's nothing to do with me.
It's nothing to you. They're projecting.
Exactly.
Okay. I mean, a big one is this. And again, pity them. Pity them that they have got so much time to take out of their life that they have to deride you. And that's my way of dealing with it. So thank you for your insight.
Thank you.